Pharaoh's Mage Tower is not the easiest, but it's also not the hardest and can be done mostly in Shadowlands gear. For the gear I used, it was Raid and Mythic Plus gear. That is, it had a mix of all stats, which had a priority of haste and crit, with verse last, though I would advise haste and verse first. Weapon I used was the Mythic Plus polearm with haste and verse. I decided to avoid abusing the Destiny's Call weapon because it's a little broken. Trinkets Warfare of Putrefaction and the Heirloom Infallible Track Chime. Consumables used were Shaded Sharpening Stone. This provides better AoE damage than Shadow Core Oil. For food, I used Tenebrous Ribs. You will want to use either haste or main stat food here. Potions was the potion of Unbridled Fury from BFA. This is completely broken in the Mage Tower and provides 6% of your DPS in this case. Flask used was Spectral Flask, but any flask with 31 stats or higher will work here. This is because of how scaling works. If you go below 31 stats, you'll slowly lose more and more stats, so 31 stats or higher. And for a little bit of extra damage, I used the Roll Scroll of Battle Shout. You do not need to use this, but it helps reduce the length of the fight as well as make up for mistakes of letting the servants get a bit of healing off. Balance first row is Predator. This is because the ads will be the main focus through the fight. Next row is your choice. Personally, I use Tiger's Dash. Third row, you are forced to take Balance Affinity. As with all content, honestly, Blizzard should just bake this into the Feral spec because that range increase, Feral is extremely reliant on it, especially in Mythic Plus. Soul of the Forest, best talent in a row, no matter what. Primal Wrath is easier for this next row, but you can use Brutal Slash. It will make the fight harder though, so go with Primal Wrath. Much easier. Last row, you can take anything. Moment of Clarity helps with energy, which is a huge problem during this fight. Blood Talons increases your DPS and makes sure you can just bite those imps to death. Feral Frenzy lines up perfectly with the shield Agatha uses, which allows you to break it instantly. So use whichever you feel you need more of. I personally went with Blood Talons. The fight itself is slightly different from Legion. By that I mean Legion was a focus on Agatha and cleaving the ads, but now it is focused the ads and cleave Agatha. As for the priority of ads, it is Smoldering first, then Umbral, then Fuming, and finally Servants, though if Servants get to Agatha like they did for me, because I was a baddie, you change to killing them first. Smoldering Imps are the first target because of they deal a significant portion of the damage you get dealt during this fight. Usually you will spam AoE to kill them, but it does run the risk of breaking out servants from roots if they are rooted too close. Be careful of that. Umbral Imps do a decent amount of damage, so they should be killed second, but since you are AoEing, they should be dying with the Smoldering Imps. Fuming Imps can be kited, which stops them from exploding since they need to be in melee range to explode on you. Sadly, our slow is only 20%, so you're gonna have to keep moving throughout the whole entire fight. As for stopping their explosion, you can knock them back or stun them, but if either of these are not an option, just make sure when they explode that they are outside of the pathway that you intend to be taking, or at least leave room for you to go around the puddles. For the servants, they can channel and heal Agatha if they reach her, but the healing is rather low. I don't know if this is intended, but because of that, you do not want to use your interrupt on them usually, because you want to save that for Agatha, but you however can use Typhoon and Maim to stop their casts if they get there. Otherwise, make sure to root them from a distance so you can kill them before they even touch her. You will want to kill the servants before the root timer finishes because Mass Entanglement has a 1 minute CD and it only lasts for 45 seconds. During the second phase, things will be hectic, and the time at which you phase her depends on how the beginning will go. But I would advise the following for this whole phase. Avoid the boulders. and kill the smoldering imps when they spawn. Use survival instincts on the very first wave as soon as you see them start casting firebolt. Let the servants come in and kill them with AoE as well as 5-point Furious Bites when you are at the top of the platform where the boulders spawn. If the fuming imp is exploding, Typhoon it. If Typhoon is on CD, let it explode away from you and do not get knocked back into a boulder. You could also maim it if Typhoon is on CD. After you go to the bottom, you'll go back to normal because the top portion is harder to dodge the boulders while the bottom is easier, so it's easier to deal with the imps at the bottom than it is at the top. So grouping them all up at the top just makes things slightly easier, even if it means Agatha's getting a bit of HP back. There are points where you want to use Furious Bite without 50 energy. Those cases are usually when you need to heal yourself, or when you're going to be overkilling an imp anyways that you're using it on. And honestly, the only imps you should really be using Furious Bite on are the servants. You can use it on other ones if you know, hey, it's going to kill them, it's going to give me a refresh, I'm going to be able to kill the next one as well with that refresh. And yeah, try to save your Furious Bite for Agatha or the servants. Energy management here is key. Like, if you run out of energy at a very bad time, it's gonna go downhill. As for Agatha, keep your dots on her as much as possible. Sometimes Rip will fall off because you're using Primal Wrath. This is fine, just reapply it when you can, when you have the energy to spare. Don't worry too much about it. She is someone you have to kill, but she's not like high priority anymore. You will want to interrupt Dark Fury when you can, but if it is going to place you inside of a boulder or in the pathway of a boulder or into an imp explosion, you will want to avoid using it until those threats are cleared. This goes without saying, but avoid the ground circle AoEs. They deal a decent amount of damage. Though during phase 1, you are fine standing in a few because the low damage profile during phase 1 allows it. This took me only like 10 tries because, you know, I kept going back to the old way of cleaving the ads and trying to kill Agatha. That is a bad habit to try and break, especially for this challenge. Though, I will say that I still did it at the end. You may have noticed I've just tunneled into her. It's a bad habit. This fight allows for a few mistakes to be made. I did not use drums at all during the fight, but you can, and as for where you should be using them, that is probably when phase 2 starts, when you get back up to her. Anyways, that's all for this one. I have honestly been spending most of my time doing Guardian one, and Blizzard made that stupidly hard because the ads stop moving when they cast now for some reason. You know, an interaction that didn't exist in the first Mage Shower, so it's harder for no reason. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!